Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Percival, also known as Scuffed Gaming here on YouTube, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Repentance. Holy cow, am I on a losing streak. I, as always, have been trying to record the Tainted Lost Victory for Christmas, for the winter holiday, you might say. But we have been struggling. There have been a lot of runs that I've recorded. At this point, this would be attempt number 7 that have happened off camera. Actually, they happened on camera, but the sound was not agreeing with me for some reason. I watched the recordings back and I realized, oh snap, like there's no way for people to be able to differentiate from my voice from the game, unfortunately. Yeah, it's been difficult to, okay, alright, well, you can kind of see why. We've been getting some pretty absurd rooms that we've been having to start with, and already the Holy Mantle is gone from this character, so this looks like it's going to be a short attempt, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any way for me to make this back. For those of you that might not be familiar with this character is one of the more difficult characters to play in this game. As Tainted Lost can't have health, instead has one Holy Mantle charge, which I already have shredded, a damage boost flying, and instead of the regular Holy Mantle, we have chances of gaining our mantle back in the form of prayer cards. But, one of the problems that we have is when you walk into a room that's, difficult to avoid getting hit once, you can't do that multiple times. You run the risk of, unfortunately, being killed. So, alright, well, that's what I get for not paying attention. So in circumstances like those, you find yourself sort of, anytime that you go on autopilot, anytime that you figure, oh, well, I'm not really in any danger. Well, it turns out you actually are in danger. In this case, making the rotation over to this side is necessary because otherwise we're going to get run over by these spiders. We couldn't keep shooting through that barrel because that barrel would blow up and take away our mantle charge. All these rooms that seem at first to be pretty, oh, this room won't kill me because, it's not like a multi-stage boss or it's not like a final boss. It, sort of becomes a moot point because, any one errant hit feels like it essentially has killed you. And so that's the challenge on this character, is trying not to be killed. In exchange, your item pool is supposed to be better than usual. We had some pretty heartbreaking losses. One of our losses came at, we were in the chest, we were almost there, we were maybe 4 or 5 rooms away from victory. And, we were killed. We were killed by a room that had double elite husk in it. And again, normally that wouldn't necessarily be a big problem, but you can't afford to get hit on this character. Not without some kind of iframe invincibility. It's very difficult for this character to get extra lives because extra lives don't really exist for this character. Outside of the birthright, outside of the death certificate, technology is a nice pickup. I'm going to take this dice shard. I'm not always one to pick up familiars like Little Brimstone, but Little Brimstone does not impact the movement patterns of our enemies, so I don't mind opening every room with a Brimstone beam. Curse of the Exile is not my favorite curse of all time, because it does take away one shot from us, which is not ideal, especially because we are always on the lookout for prayer cards. The long-term goal of this character is to either arrange some kind of finagled extra life or, a prayer card, hopefully. We already bonded in a machine. In the hopes to arrange this Steam sale. Maybe in a future shop we'll be able to afford something. Maybe we'll even get our hands on a what's that devil deal that turns devil deal items into purchases? A pound of flesh. The yellow champion Duke of Flies, otherwise known as the baby boss for babies. Pageant boy, yuck. Yeah, stronger items, by the way. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately we don't need the range, so we're sort of at the mercy of whatever happens in these deals. The Abyss is all pedestals in the current room. Something, 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 something. Wow, what an incredible deal. I'm so glad that we get to Abyss the pageant boy and move on. You know, it very quickly starts feeling like if you don't have tears rate and you don't have adequate amount of attack damage, then you're waiting to die. It feels like we're sort of circling the drain. Like, we don't have enough speed to even... Yeah, that's what I figured. I was about to say, we don't have enough speed to outrun even these chargers. So, yeah. It's already looking like this one's also over. You know, I'm fully ready to accept that, like, I'm just not as good as I used to be at this game, and certainly have not been practicing as much as I used to play. You know, I used to play daily. But it definitely seems a lot like, well, you know, what do you really expect our item pool being what it was? You know, we don't have a single damage up, tears up. Our survival seems, you know, pretty bad. That's... You know, that's pretty bad. Rerolls each item currently held into a different item. In those cases, like, you could string along a win. We've played binding runs where we don't see stat ups of any meaningful variety. But on the Tainted Lost, it does feel like, well, then we're just going to lose. We're just losing slowly. You know, we will eventually get to a room where we're going to need movement speed or knockout damage or some kind of escape option, and we're just not going to have it because the game decided we shouldn't have it. You know, we've abyssed 2 items because they haven't been helpful to us. Which means that of the 7 items that we've seen, only 1 has contributed stats to us. And this is going to be another item that I'm abyssing because guess what? Keeping meat is not helpful to me. Crazy rotation. Okay. I changed my mind. Our movement speed is very quickly going to get, we're going to get priced out of movement speed at this rate. And there's no nice way of saying that. I mean, even these teratomas are faster than we are. So, I mean, if we don't see something soon, we're still dead. I mean, we do have Brimstone, and Brimstone is fantastic. But it's all we can do to try to stay alive for an extended period of time against these projectiles that are really outspeeding us still. Back for it. Thank God that's over. The judgment. That actually will kill me if I run into that man. Yeah, you know, folks, I really do think this run is unfortunately just waiting to end. I mean, I can't play perfectly in the depths and beyond. Something is eventually going to hit me. Now, obviously, I will continue to play and I will try as hard as I can, but I mean, even these chargers could kill us. Didn't realize that I was going to activate the boss. I thought that taking the Abyss would not do that, but kind of is what it is. I really don't like that we have to fight the Carrion Queen in this room. I mean, technically that is damage. We're hitting hard enough to get through the rooms, don't get me wrong, but BOGO bombs and a, you know, amazing. No software items. Yeah, it's very likely that this is going to end up resulting in me taking another crack at the run. I mean, maybe the game will softball us and give us nothing but easy rooms from now on. You know, maybe. Probably not, but you know, the way that I rotate things is very habitual, and so I do think that eventually I will rotate into like a spike rock or something. That's what I'm worried about. Or a fire or something, or a bomb rock, and then something will quick. Actually, there was a run that we had where a sort of random like fire or something ended up getting in the way of one of my rotations, and I ran right into it. I mean, I ran one into one right here, right? I walked out of a doorway and hit a fire. I mean, that's gonna happen. I do believe that our tears rate is going to become an issue, because bosses do have some amount of boss armor, and they will tank through at least one attack. Console prize, I believe, is a tears up, and I believe it's a tears up that we will have to take. As little as I want to have to fight extra bosses, here we are. Gate. We're already one bad rotation away from death constantly. One of our runs, for example, was ended by a Mask of Infamy that happened to be camping a doorway, and that was enough to kill us. Well, I mean, that would qualify as something that I want badly. Homing is going to take away my need to have to physically aim at anything. Do one more tap. Alright. You know, it's all kind of moot, though, if the game doesn't want to give it to me, so... You know, perfection usually does a little bit better of a job at getting us money, but again... You know, it doesn't surprise me that the game is in a mood. The game's been in a mood for the last 2 days. The game doesn't want to help sometimes, and that's fine. Super leapers, there's spike rocks in this room, see? Spike rocks and fires. You know, enemies that jump on top of you from across the map. And well. As anticipated, there will be no prayer cards given to us during this run. We are sort of forced to play this game straight. You know, Twisted Spoon. I think the difficult part about this decision is that normally I would take Damocles and we would see maybe 2 more pedestals. 2 more double pedestals, and maybe 2 more double pedestals is better than the Pact. But the Pact is tears and damage, and we need both of those things. So, you know, in this case I do really feel that us, you know, choosing to take Damocles is a little bit of a short-sighted goal. I believe, personally. I mean, I could very well be completely mistaken. You know, it's important to remember that in, for example, the chest, those are not considered pedestals. Those are chest items. And so those do not count for the purposes of Damocles. You know, little known and kind of sad fact about me playing this game, by the way, is that I'm colorblind, so the red areas are tough for me. And the womb is all red. And so Spider Mod for me is quietly one of the best items in the game because it outlines the enemy's health bars. I can see, you know, where I'm shooting. God, I hope this is the right way. It's not. Yeah. There are some rooms that you can't shoot your way out of. That was one of them. The trap room. The trap room with red fires and the turrets. Amazing item pool. Yeah, it used to be that you could find ways to cheese your way out of this character. You know, you could find like the Book of Shadows, but I think they have since removed this character's ability to have the Book of Shadows. There's still the 9-volt with some books, like the Book of the Dead, that could give you shields, enough shields probably to survive. Like we had the Book of the Dead with the 9-volt, we would not have probably gotten killed in that room, because we would have just simply bricked it off with the bone fragments. But I do believe that they wanted this character to be somehow even harder. And I could be completely wrong. It's been a while since I played this game, so I don't actually know how much of it was changed. There's a 9-volt. But no holy card. Duke of Flies, regular Duke. You know, and of course, as it turned out, me taking Damocles would have been a waste anyway, right? Because I died before I saw a pedestal regardless. We walked into a trap room that had 5 turrets, red fires, and needed to press 2 buttons with red loops. Like, it's just a nightmarish room for any character. Forget about this character. It's a nightmare for any character. That's one of those rooms where it feels like it was designed to make sure you get hit like 4 times. some of those rooms are like that. It's what makes defensive options like Infamy feel really strong. It's what makes defensive options like the Broken Modem seem very strong. But ultimately, guys, ladies and gentlemen, those rooms are exceptionally hard to beat for anybody to get through without getting hit in those rooms. I don't honestly know what most players are supposed to do in that situation. You have to get a little bit lucky, maybe. Oh, the mulligan. Yeah, those are the kinds of rooms where you don't have time to wait and you can't act too quickly at the same time because you will get hit. You know, you have to hope that you have some kind of extra card generation. I mean, I'm still a big fan of, you know, card generation. Obviously, finding the birthright would be great. Welcome back to Mom's First Land, where we have Mom's First again. Nice. 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 You know, considering the fact that I served away our mantle early on the last run, I am surprised that it went as far as it did. Should definitely not have gone that far. Can you die, please? Thank you. Get a nice Roid Rage upgrade. Interesting deal. I'm torn between Death's List and a Thame. Because a Thame is going to proc every single time if we have max luck. And I think I'm going to go with Death's List though, because the one problem with a Thame, everyone has to remember, ladies and gentlemen, is that if it causes enemies to die that had a death rattle outside of my control, my personal control, that could cause problems for me as well. I mean, this character is very, very finicky. I'm gonna moon out. Excellent. Exactly what I wanted to be in that chest. It's going to be very hard for us to achieve Death's List because we have a lot of attack locusts. I suppose I could always drop the white locust. And maybe I will. You know what? Now we have the mulligan. Mulligan should be good enough. Damage, nice. Oh. Super cool. Again, a really good item out of the item room. Cool. Death's List is going to give us an order by which we must kill the enemies that are in front of us so we can get free stuff. Sometimes that free stuff is stats, sometimes that free stuff is... Okay. Sometimes that free stuff is consumables. Nice try, game. Yeah, and a truly amazing set of shops, by the way. Like, you know it's bad when the devil deal was one of the few things that had us going for so long. I mean, the devil... Nah, that's not true. The devil deal, you know, being what it was nice. I'm just gonna take this pestilence locust instead. It's not gonna matter. In a second, we're about to get perfection, so get some nice movement speed upgrade. Trying to get an extra 5 damage. That guy killed himself to prevent us from having Death's List. Yep. I'm about to drop this locust too, because that's going to happen again. And it's gonna get me killed. That's the one thing about this character, I'm telling you. You start to really see the fragility of these characters once you're like, oh, anything that deals damage outside of what I was expecting is cause for me to be concerned about how long I could live in this game. Anything that could cause an unintended death rattle, anything that could cause an unintended consequence. Grab a lump of coal. Maybe this pill would be good? Nice. Really good. Yeah, amazing pill. Health up? Great. I mean, if the whole point of this character was to not have health, why would they not, like, oh my god. So like this room, if we didn't have any speed, we have died in here. It just kind of goes to show, sometimes, I'm telling you guys, the game is going to find a way. We might get offspring in this room. There's so many possibilities of getting random offspring. So glad that we have the increased range, actually. Really nice. We're still in the market for homing. I mean, we're in the market for a lot of things still, you guys. Excellent. Always nice. Always nice to go in a direction where there was nothing there. Incredible. Maybe death certificate? Nope. Yeah, I mean, when you look at our item pool, it's less than stellar, folks. It's less than stellar. We've seen one tier upgrade. We've been giving ourselves some damage upgrades, in a manner of speaking. Cool. I guess because that enemy is considered disjointed, then we didn't get to. That's a mimic chest. Yep, this is off-screen city again. All these rooms that normally are not that dangerous become so much more dangerous on this character. That might be worth taking for the shot speed. Probably Selfless gets to fight us again. Alright, you can stop now. Very funny. 8-inch nails? Yeah, I mean, you guys want to know what this build is missing? Knockout power still, even despite 12 damage, another holy card, and tears rate. We have everything else. We have the range. Okay. Even the knockback from 8-inch nails is hazardous to us. If we're pushing enemies into corners, okay, game, you can stop trying to do that. Maybe piercing, homing still would be nice. The R2's rate is not where it needs to be to win this run. Not an XL floor, by the way, just a regular. There's a regular floor. Yeah. Amazing.
Queen of Hearts.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, might as well make a donation. I mean, no reason not to, right? No reason not to make at least one small donation to the cause. It's definitely not the rotation I wanted, but it's fine. There's some tears rate. I think I will buy Jello. Disgusting room. Ooh. Okay. Now we can activate Jello when we get to a boss room. Do I not have Spectral? I don't love that my shots weren't going through that predictive spike. That feels like it should not be possible.
Well, yeah, but the predictive spike is considered an enemy in this game, Eric.
Yeah, an indestructible enemy that I can't do anything about. Like, I understand what you're saying, but if that's true, then that's some nonsense of an enemy for sure. Another holy card, man. If only I did have Polydactyl or something, I could actually carry 2 holy cards. That would be okay. That would be a really cool. Okay, I don't like this room. Something about this room bothers me a lot. Some rooms, when I walk into them, just hit that fight or flight fear response from like this. There's something about this room is giving me a conniption, and I don't really know why. Like this, for example, this spike rock, I feel like I'm gonna run into it one time, and I probably won't run into it one time, but I feel like I'm going to. Damage up, cool. There's no such thing as too much damage in this game. I don't believe that to be true for 1 second. There's no such thing. It is shocking how dangerous this room is. And it's all because these things, I can't shoot through them. Keep in mind, that is the primary reason why this room is dangerous at all, because you cannot shoot through these bricks. I'm gonna buy this black candle. I really don't know what else I could possibly roll for, but I will roll. I will re-roll the shop at least once more. No, I don't think that's a good idea. Okay. I'm really not happy to see Gish here, because I know that means that the boss item is not going to be worthwhile. I'm going to buy the Guppy's head for the Guppy touch. Familiar that fires slowing tears. I don't really want it. I don't really want it. This room is also very dangerous because of these super leapers. Now, if any one of these rocks was a spike rock, we would have gotten hit there, we would have died. 100%. Got speed up. I don't think I'm going to have the ability to go for Death's List anymore. I'm just going to have to ignore the indicators because it's not a good idea for me to keep forcing Death's List. If it happens to give it to us, that's great, but me trying to actively go for it, is just, it feels like it's an exercise in me essentially trying to get myself killed. I'm not gonna let that spike rock kill me. Doesn't look like we're gonna be in time for boss rush, so I'm not gonna force it. That almost did that to me. Yep. Yep. Normal rooms. Normal rooms that you walk in and definitely aren't gonna get hit for free. Super normal. Nothing to see here. The range on these turrets is obscene. I mean, I'm literally getting shot from across the room here. I am interested in blowing you up. And you. Because I want to get some easy access to the key beggar. Nice. Nice try. All right. Swell. That's the bottom left-hand side of this map, just so in case anyone was concerned about not knowing where we were going. Blood clot, I mean... And technically it's a free blood clot because we're just going to fool out. And I know some people might be asking, like, well, like, where's the broken stuff? Scuff Gaming usually runs to some broken combinations, but yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I haven't seen anything that crazy in a good while right now. You would think that I would have, you know, happened to come across something broken during these runs. But I'm right there with you, brother. I don't know why he's not giving it to me. No idea. Could be any number of reasons. Alright, we're max speed now. Max range. Pretty much max range. See what I mean? That was an invisible mob enemy. That happened to have a death rattle. And so now we don't have a holy card anymore. It always happens this way. Tarot cloth? Sure. Adds 2 holy shields at the start of each floor. Mom's box. It may be able to save us. I don't know if it works the way I think it does, but if it does, it might be able to save us. There's only one way to find out. What? Do they get stuck? Okay. Man, I'm really regretting not buying Mom's Burst now. We could have really used these double trinkets. Brainworm is incredible. Like, I'm not convinced that Brainworm is better than the Holy Cross, but it is so close that I am considering it. Thank you. Yeah, again, looks benign. These rooms look benign, but that vacuum thing is causing my shots to go off center. Each one of these rooms is dangerous. You really don't know until you get there. Am I playing this room slow? Am I playing this room fast? Is there a proper way to play it? Is it because... Why is it taking so long? Is it because I don't have enough damage? So on and so forth. I'll start asking all these questions. This room is really bad. Anything that messes with your movement feels like it could be the reason you lose. Incredible. Incredible. Okay. You know, this might be a mistake. Taking Mom's knife might be a degree of foolishness that will come back to bite us in the ass. 100%. Hello? However, this kind of killing power is helpful when it comes to fighting bosses. And as long as you can sort of target it where you want it to go, there is a chance that it is the right thing to do to secure this one. I feel like Mom's Knife does require players to be very patient with their attacks. Because obviously now the tears rate is sort of coming back to bite us. Because we have so much tears rate that we're max ranging Mom's Knife every single time that we take a swing at the opponent. Yeah, I'm barely holding onto this stick, and it is flinging this thing very far. On the one hand, it is helpful because I don't have to go too close to stab the opponent. On the other hand, if the enemy is close to us, it does feel like I can't simply have him stab. I mean, again, having homing would be nice in this situation. Okay, well, you can see part of the problem, right? Also, is that Mom's Knife is a very precise. Well, there's the magician, but I can't give up the holy card. I find it hard to believe that we don't have the damage to one-shot this guy game. Just one time I'd like to walk straight to the boss door. Yep. He's not hitting anything in this room. Not a single enemy is getting hit. I went the complete wrong way. Yeah, just one time. Just one time I would like to walk straight to the boss room. Not gonna do this. Yeah, these rooms are not fun. I don't like them. And the crazy thing is, I'm still operating under the assumption that the wooden cross is going to protect me. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm assuming that the wooden cross is going to protect me. You know, again, I don't, I mean, no, I'm not going to. I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction, game. Excuse me. I don't like this room. I hate this room, actually. But these rooms are shockingly bad. You know, the double greed fight in the small room? Are you serious? What is this room? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to assume that if these enemies are trying to come at me, they would see me apparently across the map. Double greed in a small room? Or double gluttony? Oh. 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 I don't know why you took Mom's knife. You don't even know how to use Mom's knife. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, we're always all learning. Yeah. You can put that down whenever you want to, my friend. I don't know what that first red shot was, but I didn't like it. You know, again, I'm very much assuming that this wooden cross is protecting me right now. Okay. Very much assuming that. I don't know for a fact if it's protected. I assume it is. Lodestone, the leech. Does the chase enemies, heals. Yeah, I don't think that's. Chance to fire tears that magnetize enemies. Magnetize enemies will pull out enemies, enemy projectiles towards them, themselves damages. Yeah, I mean, it's anything that manipulates the. It's a double bloat. It's an awful room. I like how the creators of this game know that, like, what's the scariest thing you could put in this room for the Lost? You know what would be the scariest thing? 7 attack spiders. 7 attack spiders in a small room. Yeah, that'll get them. The husk, man. You got me one time, Husk. Oh, this is another one. I'm actually gonna leave Envy alone. Okay. I'll get him eventually, guys. Pile, thank you for not being a piece of crap. No. I didn't know those guys shot anything. I'm about to yell at myself. You know you can hit the guy whenever you want to, Eric. You don't have to keep walking around him without shooting at him. You can shoot at him whenever you want. Okay, no, I know when I've had it. I know when I've got it. Woo! Wow. Wow, what an odyssey. That was what, attempt number 9 after the resets. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. That was a high power mom's knife run that ended up somehow getting all the way to the end. I want to wish everyone a very happy holiday. Thank you for sitting in and strapping in for this absolute odyssey. It just goes to show that mom's knife is still really incredible, although I would prefer it to be with less range. If you like videos like this, I have a lot of playlists on the channel, especially my series Road to B-Side, which I encourage you to check out, as well as my Inscription playthrough. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. So long, everybody.